Taxi Vlog 222. It is the 10th of September, 1/3 of the way through the month already, and it is my penultimate shift before going on vacation. If you don't know what that means it's the second to last. There, no. The seat's always wrong when I get in. No. Oh good, the belt buckle is done, so that means that it's not going to beep at me. Good. So we're out here, and the last week has been good to me. After Labor Day weekend, even the Tuesday night was pretty good. My night got saved by a couple of long ones towards the end, the last of which was in run to the airport, which was really good. Just what I needed. And to celebrate, Cindy and I went out to one of our favorite restaurants in town, known as Il Terrazzo, where I had venison, that is deer, for the first time in a while. And I don't know why they're doing construction on this road here, because there was really nothing wrong with it before they started. And there's a flagger standing there. You can maybe see the trucks and stuff out there. Why did they rip this up? It's Victoria. Anyway, we went for dinner. I had venison, which is deer. Melt in your mouth, deer. That was so good. Now I know what they do with all the stray deer running around the neighborhood. They send them to Il Terrazzo. Oh, that was good. I forget what Cindy had. I'll have to look at the video again. I'll have to look at the rushes, the video files. I haven't really edited the video yet. I will do that when I'm on vacation. I'm going to my mother's for a week. And so by the time you see this, I will be leaving tomorrow. This is why I'm doing this video a day earlier, because it's much easier to do this now than try and put up a video just as I'm scrambling to do the last minute packing. Go to my doctor's appointment, which I have a doctor's appointment just before I got to get on the plane. So it's going to be a hectic morning on Wednesday. But now it's Monday night, so that's still a day and a half off. I have tonight to work and tomorrow night to work. Now, oh, what a fustercluck this is. Why are they doing it here? They should do it on streets that need it. Public Works Department, your tax dollars at play. Okay, well that was it for the weekend. I didn't get much caught up on videos. It seems that in the last week or so, people have been posting more videos than usual, and some people who haven't posted videos in a while are posting now. And on top of that, I had a very busy week last week, so I didn't have a chance to look at as many videos as I would have liked, because I was doing trips out here instead of actually watching YouTube. Yeah, I was making money. So then Friday came along, and Friday night, you know, considering I was dealing with a bunch of drunk teenagers because they were all coming back to school and partying at the beginning of the semester before they had any classwork to do or any studying to do, I just had Friday was one right after another, and smooth, and one right as soon as I got rid of one carload of people, either somebody else would climb in or I'd get another call nearby, and it just flowed. It was smooth. It was, oh, such nights are nice. And well, by 3:30 or 4, by 4 it was done, so it kind of died off, and I was happy with the result. Saturday proved to be an even busier night, but the thing is that it got a little too busy, and when it gets a little bit too busy, some of the calls get a little old and the people disappear before you get there, because two things happen. A lot of people call 2 or 3 taxis to make sure they get one and waste our time, And then a lot of drivers shut their MDTs off. That's mobile data terminal for you who are not familiar with the lingo. It's this box here that goes beep and says go there. A lot of the guys turn that off and just go flagging downtown so that there are not enough cars to service the calls that we get. And calls take priority in my view, because if you don't do the calls when we're busy, what'll happen when we're not so busy? We won't get the calls because they'll call someone else because we didn't service them. So I had a lot of customers that when I got there 10 minutes, the call was 10 minutes old, they were gone. And it was always trying to send me back there and far instead of nearby and straight ahead, like on Friday. Friday was a complete contrast from that. So as a result, I had 8 or 9 no loads. That means I went to 8 or 9 addresses where there was nobody answering the phone or nobody there at all. Or it was a party house and there were people inside but they weren't coming out, or they were coming out and walking right past my cab. Terrible. So, and in some instances I called the phone number before even going to the place to find out if they still needed it. And yeah, a couple times they still did need it, so I had to go and get them. Anyway, it was very tiring, especially because I didn't get much sleep Saturday during the day. I don't know. I got home because I was tired from working the Friday night. I fell asleep in my chair watching one of my own videos. No wonder no one else is watching them. This week, I don't know, there must be so many videos competing for people's views that my views have dropped. They have plummeted. They've gone down. Not on this channel, but on the other one. Anyway. So the Saturday, yeah, you know, more drunk teenagers and a couple of ridiculous people, but you know, they don't really enter my mind right now. I just found that the working conditions were such that there was a little bit too much stress out there. It was a little bit too hectic. I still made more money than I did on Friday, but what an expense to my system. I was very stressed at the end of that. So it was a complete relief to come out last night, and it was quiet. For the first hour I didn't get a call. I just watched videos for a while. And then I started getting calls, and by around 11 o'clock or so I had 5 trips and was more than halfway on my way to making my lease. So I thought, oh well, let's go home. I feel like giving Cindy a hug. Well, so I went home. I went home for half an hour and I watched a bit of TV with her and chatted a bit with her and had a soft drink because I can't have an alcoholic beverage when I'm driving. That's it. Run right in front of my car. You want to die, don't you? Yeah, you do. Well, it looks like you lived long enough. It seems to be 65 years old and they jaywalk right in the middle of 4 lanes of traffic. In a real city, that would be death. Let me turn the lights off for a second because there is some kind of police action here and I don't want the policeman to see my interior light. What the fuck is going on here? Looks like they stopped a couple of cars where there was an accident in the turn-off lane. Let's shed some light on the situation once again. No more cops. So I went home. I relaxed with Cindy. Then I came out back to work and I thought, okay, let's go back to the spot where I usually sit and wait for stuff to happen and watch some YouTube videos. And then this thing, the MDT went off and it sent me out to the airport, and I was quite surprised by this because when I went home I checked to see if there were cars out there, and there were 3 cars waiting on calls out at the airport, but now I get sent. So I showed up at the airport and I was in line behind 3 of our other cars, but I had the name of the passenger I was supposed to get. It was an account customer, so no matter what, I get paid. So I waited. The first 2 cars loaded with 1 flight when a flight came in. And then not too long after that, another flight came in, and there were 2 separate people who were going to the same place, but I was dispatched for one and the car in front of me was dispatched to the other, and they said, well, can we double up? And the other driver said, well, no, this guy was sent from all the way in town to come out here and, you know, for nothing. No, that's not cool. So he took his fare, I took my fare. And as we were leaving the airport, I had just gotten through the first roundabout, my phone rang, and it was the dispatcher calling me specifically and asking me if I loaded my fare. And I said, well, yes, I did. He says, well, there's another one there who is requesting a cab, but you got away already. I said, yes, I did. So he calls, or my customer was trying to figure out what was going on. So I told him that there was another person there who wants a cab. And I say, do you know, and I said the name of the person, and he said, well, yes, it's one of my colleagues. And I said, well, yeah. He said, can we go back and get her? I said, well, if you really want to, sure. So I turned around. Then I called our dispatcher and told him that we can go back and get that one. He says, well, I sent one out of Zone 55, so no, don't pick her up. I sent a car for her. And okay, fine, good, all right. So I turned around again and I told my customer what the story was, that she wants her own cab and blah, 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 blah. Okay. So we got back into town. That was a $64 fare. Beautiful. And then I went back to the place where I usually sit, and I got another call on the gorge. And when I got to the gorge, the people wanted to go out to the Western Communities. Langford. Beautiful. Another $25 fare. And then later on, I had one of my regulars who went from one end of town to the other for 25 bucks. And I was sitting there watching videos and got my Wi-Fi going, and it was really nice. And then I got sent to a gas station, which I did not accept because it was probably some hooker wanted to go 2 blocks to the hotel from the corner on which she was dropped off. So I rejected that, and I'm glad I did, because I accepted the next one, which was my customer that went from one end of town to the other. Guess what? Another $25 fare. And you know, I'm really glad that I accepted that, because the next one, right away, as soon as I dropped that guy off, I got a time call for 420. Is it 240 or 420? That's the famous number for pot smokers. I forget. I don't smoke pot. Makes me paranoid and out of control, and I don't like that feeling at all. So I don't smoke pot. I think it's 420. Well, that's the time I was sent for. So I went to the guy's house. The call was 10 minutes away. I got there, and of course, he went to the airport. The gentleman was flying to Halifax, going all the way to the other end. Beautiful. So I got another 60 bucks for that one. And that was 2 motorcycle cops. Oh, fuck. I better turn this interior light off for a second, because I'm coming up on, I went around the block, right? So I'm coming up on the place where the other cops were. And no, I don't see them. So anyway, that night, last night, ended up very well. I don't know if I'm going to talk about this night or tomorrow night at all, because I'm going on vacation into, okay, there's no more cops. Okay, so we're good. Yeah, I hope yours is better than mine. Thanks, good night.